Namaste, people. So this is a video about the subconscious mind and the need for you to have a morning ritual. That word is kind of charged, like you might think, you draw a circle around you and a pentagram and light a candle. Or a ritual is just a patterned, a sequence of behavior that you do consistently, that you can let go of the thought of what comes next. And a lot of people, you have morning rituals. Your bathroom ritual of I floss before I brush, or I brush before I floss. Or that's a good question. Do you floss before you brush or after you brush? And so when I'm working with my father, for example, and triple spinal fusion, 2 fusions in his neck, a fusion in his lumbar, 3 ruptured discs in his lumbar, and a spinal implant that shocks him so he doesn't feel the pain because it's in his spine, like the injury. I can't even imagine. And so for you, those of you that have incredible injuries or incredible experiences of life that maybe aren't so pleasant, let go of the need to explain it. No one's ever going to get it. I'm just about the most empathetic person that I've ever met, with the exception of some of my teachers. I'm it. And I won't get it. There's no way for me to understand what 4 vertebra impinging 50% on your spinal cord at the neck is going to be like, living with that for 23 years. Nobody's going to get it. So stop. You're frustrating yourself by trying to explain it. So let go of that and just look for solutions. And it might not be the solution you're going to replace your neck. So we're looking for solution. How can I manage? How can I transmute this experience? How can I use this to grow in other ways? And so I'm coaching him through breathing. And one of the things that comes up is as you put your attention on breathing, which is a meditation, you're just putting your attention on a single thing. You notice in that concentration that there are things outside of it coming up. So if I'm focusing on my breathing right now, and then a picture of a car, because I can hear the traffic, or if I'm focusing on my breathing and then I start to notice I'm kind of cold in the back skin of my head because it's morning here, that's a distraction. It's a commercial. It's something different. Why would anything else, if I, as a autonomous human that has the power of choice, if I choose to focus on something and something else comes up, well, that's suggesting that I don't actually have full control over my mind. And this will happen with all of you. All of you, I say, put your attention on something, and then you might come up with a reason. I'm bored, or I've got these other things on my mind. But if you do something like breathing and moving your body, like stretching, which are gentle and they're kind of self-caring, and because of that, most people don't do that. Most people don't apply self-care. Most people aren't gentle with themselves. And those that are, they probably go too far into that. They're way too gentle. They need a little bit of rigor. And so when you're doing self-care, why would something else come up? It's not helpful. It's not helpful to be thinking about something else while you're bending and breathing or meditating. And, ooh, there's a spider on my tripod. Where'd you come from? How'd you even get there? It's a big spider. Did you climb all the way up? So that's a clue that when you're putting your attention on a single thing, that when something else is coming up, that you're not in full control of your mind, that there's a subconscious mind that you don't have control over, or full control over, that has a lot of things contained in it, in your subconscious mind, that are not of your choosing. And it's very similar to like falling asleep with the TV on and the commercials are just kind of going right into your subconscious mind. And then you wake up and you wonder why you're craving that thing that was on the commercial. It's brainwashing. It's washing your subconscious mind. So it's very important. Here's the solution now. That was a big problem-oriented first 4 minutes. The solution is you need a morning ritual. Something to clear the subconscious mind that you were washing yourself in while you were sleeping. Throughout your day, whatever you do your practices or whatever you do your rituals or your meditation or your breathing or whatever you do, subconscious thoughts will come up. Forms will come up in the mind. And so to take control, to clear those out, to organize them, file them away so that you access them, you need the subconscious mind. It's your database. But it's like when you turn off your computer and then you go rest your head down, but then like 5 minutes later the computer spontaneously turns back on, probably because it has a bug in it or something. That's fucked. That's not good that it does that. When you turn it off, it should stay off. And it's a machine. And so is your subconscious mind. It's a machine. And when you turn it off, it should stay off. When you say, no, I don't want subconscious thoughts, they shouldn't be coming up. And if they do, you're not in control. And if you're not in control, because everything is cause and effect, that means some of your choices are not in your control. Things are coming up distracting you that are pulling your decision making, the buddhi, which is the decision making part of the mind. It's pulling you towards those subconscious, those latent forms. And especially when you're setting the tone for your day, you're setting the flavor of your day. It's kind of like if you go on a run, you want to make sure you tie your shoes really well. You know, you can always just kind of slip them on, start running, and then somewhere a mile or two down the road be like, oh, I want to tie my shoes now, and you stop and tie. That's cool. I mean, it's better than going the whole run without tying them, but why not just tie them in the beginning? So when you wake up in the morning, have something that you do, whether it's you sit up and read, or you do some breathing. There's so many. I have 400 videos on my YouTube channel. Some of them are breathing videos. You can learn from those. If you want more specifics, then you come and join the Silent Flute, because we did breathing this morning. And I do 5 morning videos. Well, one of them is a nighttime video, and one's an afternoon. Okay, I do 3 morning videos, an afternoon video, and a nighttime video every week, plus the weekly lecture, and you have access to the whole archive when you join. You go to ninthlimb.com for that. But if that's not in your budget, or for whatever reason you'd like to watch my YouTube but not my Silent Flute, then there's lots of videos here on breathing. You just pick one that you like and you learn it, and when you wake up you do it. Or I prefer breathing upon waking up, because I'm so washed in my subconscious mind, it's often very challenging to meditate. But I'm aging and my body isn't super limber. I mean, it looks like I am, but that takes some warming up, right? So when I first wake up, I'm not like jumping into headstand. So breathing's a good intermediary between meditation and posture, because you assume a posture when you breathe. You want a straight spine and all that. Or you can do it laying on your back. I have a video on that too, supine breathing postures. So that's the point. You gotta practice putting your attention on a form, on something, whether that form is a visualization of your future, whether that form is the breath, the quality of the breath, the sensation of the breath, whether that form is your physical posture, and you just sit and you contemplate your physical posture and just try to feel all your bones and your joints. So many practices that will help center you, that will help clarify what is not your center, because you're putting your attention on something, and when other things come up, you know that that's not you. That's alien. That's someone else. Their sentences, their forms, the commercials, they're not you. They're in your mind, and you should be able to access them when you want, but they're not under your control. So that would suggest that they're not really you. Because if my arm started moving on its own and I had no control over it, then that's a distraction, and I would argue that it might as well not be my arm. Like, go ahead and just cut it off if it's doing that for my whole life. And so that's what we're doing. We're cutting off the linkages that these subconscious things have in our attention, so that we can put our attention. When you learn, this is how you clear it away. So it's a daily practice of focus on something. Preferably when you wake up is best. Before you go to bed is another great time, or any time during the day. If you miss those, don't use that as an excuse. You just do it any time of the day, and that will start to allow you to take back control. So that's enough for this. I gave a lot there, and if you're interested in more, then definitely come and join the Silent Flute. I'm doing my best to enunciate those consonants at the ends of words. And definitely check out the podcast with Arash on Thursdays. And anything else? Oh, Sacred Psoas. Sacred Psoas is coming out in 2 days. I don't know if this will be posted by then. It comes out on the 15th. Today's the 13th. So definitely check that out. It's $47 for the first 24 hours, and then it's $97 after that, which is still like 1/10 of what it's worth. If especially you have any kind of lower back pain or hip pain. If not, then this is going to really strengthen you for yoga poses. A lot of people, they struggle with boat pose. A lot of people, they struggle with downward dog pose. I'm looking at it because it doesn't take much to build up the strength to do it. You just got to do it. And especially if you're older or if fitness has never been your thing, this is the product to really strengthen your core without hardening your external shell. A lot of people will harden their external shell of muscles without ever really strengthening their deep spinal muscles, and that's what this does. Also, if you're interested in meditation but you've found it's difficult to sit and concentrate during meditation, Sacred Psoas is definitely for you. It is a meditation. I give you a single muscle, I show you the picture, I show you how it moves, and then I teach you how to move your body to engage it. And that whole process is called samyama, which is the meditation and concentration on a single form until you become absorbed in it. That's samyama. So check that out at ninthlimb.com, and I'll definitely see you on the next one. Subscribe, comment if this was useful for you, and namaste.